Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to PuroRegal, your source for New Japan Pro Wrestling news and opinions here on the Slam Fan Wrestling Network. I am one of the hosts, a member of the Pro Wrestling Intelligentsia, the sexiest man in Midwest independent wrestling from the neck up, Mr. Timothy Regal. Unfortunately, I am not joined by Gary Freeland today, as Gary is feeling a little under the weather. We hope he gets better very soon, and he will hopefully be rejoining me on the next episode of PuroRegal, he may not be on all of them because I may be doing some short episodes. I believe they call them Pod Blast, as we go through the best of the Super Juniors tournament, which we will be previewing here in just a little while. But before we do that, I do want to talk about some of the stuff that has gone down since our last episode. We did the G1 Super Card follow up, and kind of a lot. We've had a lot of shows since then. We had Sengoku Lord, we had wrestling we had Hino Kyun, we had a bunch of Road to Wrestling Dontaku shows, and we had two Wrestling Dontaku shows. I'm going to tell you straight up, I actually did not watch everything. I basically have been really busy and did not have time to watch some of those Road 2 shows. I kind of caught the big stuff that I feel like I needed to catch. But no, I did not get a chance to watch everything like I normally would do. So I just want to kind of go through real quick. Sengoku Lord, which was all the way back on April 20th, feels like a very long time ago. Most of the undercard was your standard tag matches, but we had a Juice Robinson versus Bad Luck Fale IWGP US Heavyweight Championship match, and a IWGP Intercontinental Championship match, Kota Ibushi versus Zack Sabre Jr. I really liked the Juice and Fale match. I actually thought it was probably Fale's best match in quite a long time. Juice, a lot of credit has to go to Juice Robinson, sold his ass off in this match to make Fale look like $1 million. Juice plays a hell of a babyface. Everything else I thought the undercard tags were okay. Ibushi versus Zack Sabre Jr. I thought was absolutely great. I'm trying to pull it up here. I actually gave Juice and Bad Luck Fale 3.5 stars. Ibushi and Zack Sabre Jr., I gave it 4.5 stars. I thought this match was phenomenal. They did an amazing job. Zack Sabre Jr. is one of the best wrestlers on the planet. This guy can go out and have a good match with anybody. Just the way two guys who do completely different styles that you wouldn't think work well together here, they just meshed. I mean, both these guys are so talented. I think this almost got into that 4 3/4 5-star territory. I went 4.5. It's at 4 3/8 on Grapple, so I actually went a little higher than some. But I thought great way to kick this last tour off. I did not get a chance to watch all of the Dontaku shows, but I did check out the show that had the junior tag match between Bushi and Shingo and Roppongi 3K. Absolutely amazing match. I gave it a 4.5 star. Probably the best junior tag I think we've seen in quite a while, and I'm really looking forward to the show in the best of the Super Junior tournament, as well as Bushi and Shingo. That one, by the way, April 26th from Hiroshima, if you want to go look that up on New Japan World if you haven't had a chance to check it out yet. But yeah, definitely check out that main event of that show that had Yo and Sho versus Bushi and Shingo. Just, like I said, probably best junior heavyweight tag match in about a year. Shingo's a goddamn star, and we'll get into that. And I'm not going to say too much now because we'll get into that, I think, more as we get into the Best of the Super Junior preview. Wrestling Hino-kun, I think I'm saying that right. Forgive me if I'm not. Hino-kuni. God damn it. Where's Gary when I need him? Gary, this is what happens when you're not here. Again, a lot of undercard tag matches. Mikey Nichols and Bad Luck Fale. I'm actually going to say this one for the wrong reasons. God damn it. I had high hopes for Mikey Nichols coming in. Mikey Nichols the guy's not doing it for me. I think he wrestles like a 1980s WWE wrestler to me. I don't think that he's getting over. I don't think that he's very good at all. Silence your phone, Regal. Alex would yell at me right now. Juice and Chase Owens had another match on the show. Decent match. I didn't think it was as good as their New Beginning stuff that they had, but decent. And we'll get more into Juice in a little bit. We had the IWGP Tag Team title match of Togi Makabe and Toru Yano, the most violent players, versus the Guerrillas of Destiny. Guerrillas of Destiny retain. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Guerrillas of Destiny, a team that I don't want to see either of these guys make a singles run, but I think together they're probably the best heavyweight tag team in New Japan Pro Wrestling. And I mean, MVP getting back together, I really thought they might pull the trigger and give these guys the tag team titles, but they haven't done it yet. I'm honestly kind of surprised by that, but I think it's more about keeping Bullet Club strong in that position. I kind of wonder because, again, heavyweight tag teams were just really low on, and I'm really interested to see, is there anybody they can bring in? Is anybody, maybe the Briscoes come over? Guerrillas of Destiny are coming to the United States for the Honor Rising tour. I don't know if it's Honor Rising or Global Wars. It's Ring of Honor. I don't care. I'll watch the matches when they get on to do, because generally those go on New Japan World on some type of a delay. The matches with the New Japan talent, I will watch those when they hit New Japan World. Otherwise, I'm not paying Honor Club any more money for that. So, but they're basically coming over to drop the Ring of Honor tag team titles, I would guess. And then we have the main event, Goto versus Jay White. I really wanted more out of this match than we got. I thought that this was probably Jay's weakest match he's had since his excursion return. At least definitely the weakest main event he's had. Goto, the guys, Goto's hit the point to me where I think he's just a guy. I don't think there's anything that makes him special anymore. I don't think there's anything that makes him somebody that I would go out of my way to buy a ticket for. But from everything I read, that the Japanese audience is the other way. That the Japanese audience, they pay for tickets to see Goto. They were like Goto, and I'm not saying Goto's bad. I think Goto actually has really good matches. Watch the G1 run from a few years ago. The guy can, when he needs to, can turn it on. But I feel like the way he's been pushed, essentially, is just a chaos guy. I don't really see much there right now, but a guy that you could heat up again, I guess, going forward after that. But then, let's talk about wrestling Dontaku. We had 2 shows back-to-back nights in Fukuoka, I think. I can't remember. Gary, where are you again when I need you? Yes, I was actually right. Back-to-back nights in Fukuoka. We get to night one of Dontaku. Again, and I'm just going to run through these real quick. Ren Narita, Shota Umino, and Tomoyaki Honma versus Toa Hanare, Yota Tsuji, and Yuya Uemura. I really have gotten into this. This is the deepest class of young lions we've had in my time of watching New Japan, and I think it's the most talented class of young lions. I keep wondering when are we going to get some excursions for some of these guys, because I feel like some of them are definitely ready. I mean, I feel, are we not sending these guys on excursion because we're afraid that the opening match is going to suck? But I think definitely you have a couple guys that absolutely are excursion ready. Interesting to see where you're going. And here's the thing. Toa Hanare is in this match, and you gotta wonder. Toa Hanare is still working opening matches. He's not a young lion anymore. He's got the, Polynesian warrior gimmick, whatever. When some of these guys go on excursion and they come back, Toa Hanare, if he doesn't advance pretty soon, is going to get lapped. He's not going to be able to hold up to what the potential that like a Shota Umino shows. Shota's put on a lot of size. This guy, I mean, if anybody's ready for an excursion and they need to send him out, it's Shota Umino. And I wouldn't send him on a long excursion. I'd send Shota Umino on an excursion long enough to get the young lion off of him, and then you can bring him back as whatever he is going to be going forward. But I actually, like I said, good opening match. I wish Gary was here. I was going to ask him what he thinks of the Kevin Kelly, hey, it's Honma, whenever Honma takes his mask off. I get a kick out of Kevin's catchphrases, but yeah, the new one, the Honma wearing the I call it the Lady Gaga mask to the ring, and every time he takes it off, Kevin Kelly goes, hey, it's Honma. But really good match. Like I said, I almost went I went 3 stars on this match, which normally I don't go that high on Young Lion matches. After that, we had Jushin Thunder Liger, Ryusuke Taguchi, Tiger Mask, Yoshihashi versus Suzuki Gun, El Desperado, Minoru Suzuki, Taka Michinoku, and Yoshinobu Kinemura. I feel like this match was pretty good. I gave it 3 stars. Grapple gave this 2.83. This match did a couple of things. Number one, you continue the Liger versus Minoru Suzuki storyline, and then you had Ryusuke Taguchi, Tiger Mask, Desperado, and Yoshinobu Kinemura, all guys that are going to be in the Best of the Super Juniors tournament, so you're putting a spotlight on them. But I am 100% into the Liger versus Minoru Suzuki feud. I'm praying for the Liger farewell tour. If this is going to be at Dominion, and I wish Gary was here so he could talk to me about it, so I could shoot this to him. We need a Keshin Liger match. For those of you who don't know what Keshin Liger is a alter ego that Liger has, where he will turn into a alternate version, a more hardcore, sadistic version, more not the cartoonish that he wears back in the day. He wears face paint. He doesn't have the top on. It's a lot of fun when he does it. He's only done it a few times. I know he did it against Taichi. Keshin Liger. He did it against Hideo Suzuki. But basically, it's like he's bloody, he's evil. The mannerisms are different. and uses a little bit. He actually uses the mist. It's almost a Great Muta-esque type gimmick for Keshin Liger, but I really kind of want to see a Keshin Liger versus Minoru Suzuki match at Dominion. I think that would be cool as hell and a great callback for the Liger farewell tour. After that, we had Bullet Club, Hikuleo, Tamatonga, and Tangaloa versus Togi Makibe, Toru Yano, and Will Ospreay. This match was fine. I gave it 2.5. Grapple gives this 2.26. It was a match. It happened. Hikuleo, I thought actually looked pretty good on this tour. Looks like he's recovered from his injury quite well. He's added some size. He looks like he's progressing in the ring. Keep in mind that even though because he's in Bullet Club, they don't really refer to him as one, but Hikuleo is essentially still a young lion. But the guy's got great size, so I definitely a chance for him always. After that, we had Kota Ibushi teaming with Sho and Yo versus Bushi, Shingo Takagi, and Naito. I really like this match. I gave it a 3.5 star. Grapple gave it a 3.38. I loved throughout the tour they kept teasing Kota. Naito had challenged Kota after the Zack Sabre Jr. match, but they didn't make anything official. Kota requests to have matches against Naito for the rest of the tour, and basically every night kept asking him, when are you going to challenge me? When do you want the match? And Naito, being tranquilo, would just walk away, kind of kayfabe him. They told a really good story with these matches, but no, great match for those 6 guys. Then we had Chase Owens, Bad Luck Fale, and Jay White versus Hiroki Goto, Juice Robinson, and Mikey Nichols. I went 2.25 on this match. Grapple gave it a 2.35. Again, it's a match. There's not much to know about. Then we had the Chaos team of Kazuchika Okada and Tomohiro Ishii versus Evil and Sonata. I loved this match. I gave it a 3 3/4 stars. Grapple gave it a 3.64. Great way to tell the story that we were going to lead into the 2 singles matches on night 2. All 4 of these guys just have great chemistry, as we'll see when we get to night 2. So this was just classic New Japan. Let's build it up, but a super fun tag match. I really love this match. And then we had a never open weight title, Jeff Cobb versus Taichi. I will say it right out. This was Taichi's best match I've ever seen him have. I gave this match 4 stars. Him and Jeff Cobb, just great work by both guys. Taichi, I used to kind of make jokes about him, but I feel like he's kind of coming into his own. He's just really embraced the character. He's got the Iron Claw now from Iizuka. And I think the Never belt is a good place for him. And I definitely think we're going to see hopefully a really pretty good G1 Supercard run out of Taichi this year. But no, this match was fantastic. Taichi picking up the victory. He is your new never open weight champion. Great match. We get to the main event of night 1 of Wrestling Dontaku. Dragon Lee, the junior heavyweight champion, taking on Taiji Ishimori. I thought this was phenomenal. I gave this match 4 3/4 stars. These guys just beat the holy hell out of each other. Here's the scary thing about this match. Dragon Lee is only 23 years old. This guy hasn't even peaked yet. It's scary how good he is. trying to see how long did this match go. They went a long time. They went 26 minutes here, and just absolutely excellent match. Dragon Lee picks up the victory. If you're kind of trying to get caught up and you're looking for matches this is a match you absolutely do not want to skip. Well, obviously it's main event, but don't skip on this match. If you haven't seen it, go back and check it out. Go out of your way to go back and check it out. It's great. And again, we'll talk more about these guys in a little bit because I'm going to run down the blocks and kind of give you what I think they're going to be going forward. What they're going to be going forward. So we go to night 2 of the show. Opening up, again, opening tag match, we had Narita and Shota Umino versus Yuya Uemura and Yota Tsuji. Shota Umino getting the win with the Fisherman Suplex, 7 minutes and 36 seconds. I gave this match, what did I give? 3 stars. I'm, like I said, loving these young lions. I love the fact that that Shota and Ren have moves that aren't just the Boston Crab. I do think that when you hit a certain point as a young lion, you should get, they don't need to necessarily just have the Boston Crab for a finish. Up next, we had a 10-man tag. Taguchi, Tiger Mask, Hanare, Yoshihashi, and Jeff Cobb versus Taka Michinoku, El Desperado, Kinemura, Minoru Suzuki, and Taichi. Taichi gets the win in 11 minutes and 16 seconds over Hanare. Again, it says a lot when Hanare is eating pins. I gave this match 2.5 stars. It was a match. I really don't have much to say about it other than that. But, again, they're going to showcase Taichi here. After that, we had Liger teaming with the MVP, Toru Yano and Togi Makabe, take it on Jado, Tanga Loa, and Tama Tonga. 7 minutes and 40 seconds. Toru Yano wins with a schoolboy. I did not rank this match very high. Why did it just kick me off there? I don't know. I had the thing open. Hold on. I gave this match actually 1 3/4 stars. Grapple only has this at 1.62. It wasn't good. Then we had Jay White, Hiroki Goto, Juice Robinson, Mikey Nichols versus Hikuleo, Chase Owens, Bad Luck Fale, and Jay White. Is Juice in chaos now? Is home? There's so much weirdness now with the chaos occasionally being a stable versus occasionally not being a stable. But Juice gets the win with the Pulp Friction again on Hikuleo. One thing I forgot to mention on night 1, after Juice's match, we saw a video of a gentleman in a bar with a biker jacket and had a Union Jack on the biker jacket. He was carving a knife into the bar. What is Gato's deal with guys with knife gimmicks? I don't know. A lot of people saying this looks, and I'm going to say it pretty much is. This is going to be CCK member Chris Brooks coming in is making his debut at the Best of the Super Junior final to challenge Juice for the U.S. title. I've checked out some Chris Brooks. I've seen a little bit of CCK. I've seen a little bit of some Chris Brooks stuff. Watched the Chris Brooks and Jonathan Gresham versus the LA JoJo Young Lions match from the Rev Pro show WrestleMania weekend, and it is excellent. Chris Brooks is a guy kind of like the El Phantasma, the Will Ospreay, where he taller, lankier, kind of right on that borderline of being, could he drop some weight and be a junior? Could he gain some muscle mass and be a heavyweight? But this was, but no, it's going to be Chris Brooks. I'm looking forward to that. Always great to see some new blood coming to New Japan. Next match, it was the debut of El Phantasmo teaming with Taiji Ishimori to take on Dragon Lee and Will Ospreay. This match only went 10 minutes, but it was a 10-minute sprint match. I gave this match 4 stars. Great debut for El Phantasmo. This guy is awesome. I can't wait to see more of him. I've checked out some stuff on YouTube. I haven't really seen a whole lot of him, but I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, all 4 of these guys going to be the best of Super Junior block, so we'll kind of talk about that in a minute. Interesting note, they gave Phantasmo the win on Ospreay in his first match, so obviously they've got big things for Phantasmo. I think we're going to see he's going to make a good, decent-sized run in the best of Super Junior. Then we had Sho and Yo, Kota Ibushi versus Naito, Shingo, and Bushi. Naito gets the win on Yo in 13 minutes 47 seconds with the Destino. Again, I went 4 stars on this. Great 6-man tag match. After the match, Naito finally officially makes the challenge for Dominion against Kota, and that match is going to be going... I mean, we all kind of knew, I think, it was going to go down to Dominion, but made official after that match, finally. Then we had... honestly, my favorite match of the night. I went 4 3/4 on this one. Evil versus Tomohiro Ishii. Dude. 2 guys just go out there for 23 minutes and beat the holy hell out of each other. There's sweat flying, there's guys getting suplexed on their head, dropped on their head, chops, punches, slaps. It is, this to me ranks right up there with the Tomohiro Ishii versus Shibata match from Wrestle Kingdom 10. If you, again, that's one that you should probably go check out. But, again, check this match out if you're a fan of that, the Ishii, Shibata, Ishii, Makabe type matches, because these 2 are 2 guys that are not afraid to get in the ring and throw hands and lay it in. This just great match. I said it was the best match of wrestling, Dontaku. And that wasn't the main event, because we had the IWGP Heavyweight Championship match. Kazuchika Okada defending against Sanada in his first title defense. This is the longest match they have had. 38 minutes and 3 seconds. Sanada debuts a more normal, I would say more normal, a more subtle look with his hair and beard. He trimmed his beard up. He had his hair down. He looked a little bit more like Wrestle 1 Sanada here. But this was an excellent match, probably the best one they've had. It went longer. I don't necessarily know if it needed to go longer, but they went longer. But great match. I think Sanada Okada is developing into a hell of a rivalry. We've always said, when's it going to be Sanada's year? When's it going to be Sanada's time? It's coming. I truly believe that it is coming. That's going to be a thing down the road, and I don't think we've seen the last of this at all. I'm going to call it right now. Sanada gets a pin on Okada in the G1. I think that'll happen just to kind of set something up for down the road, because Okada's beaten him now, I want to say 4 times. But no, I gave this match a 4.5, just a smidge below Evil and Ishii. Night 2 definitely a little bit better than Night 1, but good stuff all around. Again, if you haven't checked out some of the, like I said, I didn't watch all the Road 2 shows, because they ran a lot of Road 2 shows on this tour on New Japan World. So, let me take a breath, take a drink. I don't want to leave dead air, but Gary's not here, so and as y'all know, I don't like to edit anything. So now we get to the best of the Super Junior tournament, starting this Monday all shows going to be live with English commentary on New Japan World for the first time ever. I am super happy to see that, because this tournament, I think, I'll actually say it, I think this is going to be the best of the Super Junior. First off, we've expanded the field. The field has been, as I think when I started, it was maybe 14 guys. Then it was 16 guys. Now we are at a full 20, just like the G1 Climax. We have every show live with English commentary. The finals of this is going to be in Ryogoku at the Sumo Hall. So they're going to fill a big building with this. I think they know that this junior division is probably the hottest it's ever been. So without further ado, first I'm going to run them down, and then I will go name by name, and then we'll go through kind of gunshot through the block nights, and then kind of showcase the premier matches, kind of like we did if you listen to what I call episode 0 of this podcast about a year ago, where I went through the G1 Climax. In the A block, you have got Tiger Mask, Teton, I should say, Yoshinobu Kinemura, Marty Scurll, Jonathan Gresham, Dragon Lee, Taiji Ishimori, Shingo, and Sho. In the B block, we have Rocky Romero, Robbie Eagles, Flip Gordon, El Desperado, Bandito, El Fantasma, Will Ospreay, Bushi, Ryusuke Taguchi, and Yo. Okay. Right off, both of these blocks are pretty even. Obviously, most of the names we'd predicted on this podcast. So, I mean, nothing there really surprised me much. But, I mean, I was happy to see 20 guys. I thought we'd get 16 or 18 again or whatever. But I'm happy they expanded the field, because we get some new guys. We get some guys who are returning. We get some guys who, maybe hadn't been players in the past that are going to be, because we got 20 guys now. Start with the A block. We got Tiger Mask, a veteran, former back-to-back winner of the G1, but obviously that was around 15 years ago. Tiger Mask, though, last year made that run at the start. I think he went like 4-0 or something. This is a guy, he's gonna get some pins. He's gonna take a lot of pins. He's gonna have some good matches. I really don't have Tiger Mask in the mix here, but you never know. Again, kind of the same thing with our next person. We have Taka Michinoku. Taka returning after, I believe, a 2-year absence from the Best of the Super Junior. Again, don't really see a whole lot here. I think he's basically here to kind of take some pins. I don't think he's a guy that you're going to see contending on the final night. But, again, it's Gato. You never know. Then we have Teton. Does anybody know what? I wish Gary was here. Again, this is one of the moments I wish Gary's here. What happened to Volador? Teton's good. I was hoping maybe for Mystices, I believe it is, the former Sin Cara. But God, there was one other one I can't think of. But Teton, again, he'll have good matches. I don't see really him as a contender. Then we have Kanemaru. Again, pin eater, not really seeing much there. Then we get to an interesting one. Marty Scurll, a former junior heavyweight champion, a guy that is a obviously pushed guy in Ring of Honor, former member of the Bullet Club, now the essentially last standing member of the Elite in New Japan Pro Wrestling, now the current leader of Villain Enterprises. And interesting to note here, Bringing Brody King with him. It looks like they're going to do a gimmick with Brody King where when Marty has tournament matches, he will be killing young lions. When Marty doesn't have tournament matches, he'll be teaming with Marty. I love Brody over as Marty's heater. I think that's a great way to get Marty over as the villain without the Bullet Club, without the Elite. And I'm really interested to see what the reaction of the Japanese crowd is to Brody King, because Brody King was supposed to be on the Honor Rising shows this year, but had his wife had just had a baby, so he had to bow out. But now he is coming over for the entire Best of the Super Junior Tour. And I will tell you, I normally don't watch non-tournament undercard matches a lot of nights. I will make a point to pretty much watch every Brody King match just to see how he does and how the crowd reacts to him, because I think Brody King could be huge in New Japan. But back to Marty. This essentially could be Marty's last time in New Japan. We don't really know yet. There's obviously the speculation on what exactly his Ring of Honor contract status is. Obviously, I think it's pretty safe to say he's in waiting to go to AEW, so this may be the last time. So I see him maybe being in the mix, but not a guy I would pick to go to the finals. But I think Marty's over here. I think it's, especially if this is his last time, I think, obviously, Marty always gives his best ever, but I think, New Japan is kind of one of those places that really, and being in the Bullet Club really put Marty into the spot he is now in. So I think that'll be very interesting to see how his Best of the Super Junior goes. Then we get to a guy, and again, Gary, I know gets super pumped for. I'm super pumped for. We've talked about him on the show. The Octopus Jonathan Gresham making his Best of the Super Junior debut. This guy killed it at Honor Rising. The Japanese crowd loved him. He works that submission-based style. One of the best mat technicians in the game. Not really a high flyer, but I mean, this guy can straight up wrestle. He's going to have some great matches up and down this block. I can tell you right now, Gresham and Skrull, I mean, it's a Ring of Honor match, but I guarantee it'll be good. I'm looking forward to him and Tiger Mask, I think could be really interesting. And then there's the two guys in the last two names down here we'll get to in a minute that I think... I mean, Gresham and Shingo is probably one of my most anticipated block matches. Gresham Dragon Lee, I think, is going to be really good, and Gresham and Show, I think, is going to be really good. I think you're going to see Gresham get a decent push here. He's not just... I hope they just don't make him eat pins, because I think this is a guy that you can bring in for some tours. This is a guy you could have challenge if you're not, bringing Marty back over, and if you got maybe, some guys who may not be in the juniors division much longer, maybe possibly after the Best of the Super Junior final. So yeah, really looking forward to Gresham. Then we have the junior heavyweight champion, Dragon Lee. Always interesting to see what the champions do in these tournaments. I think you're going to see what you've tend to see the last few years. Dragon Lee will probably be in the mix, probably until the final night. Some people have said Dragon Lee might win the tournament, and then that would be where somebody else would come out and challenge him for Dominion. I don't see that happening, but I do think Dragon Lee is going to be in the mix here. I think he may be in the finals of block, but I think kind of in the grand tradition of the champions in these tournaments, I think he's sitting, I think he's watching the final match from ringside-esque, if you say. Then we get to Shingo. I'm going to say, I'll just go ahead and say it. This is my pick to win the A block. Shingo has been absolutely crushing everything he's done since he came to New Japan. I think this is his time. I think he's going to have excellent matches with pretty much just about everybody in the block. I think he's gonna really bring some guys along. This should lead to a bunch of great matches, and then I think we're gonna see a great match for the Best of Super Junior final. I think Shingo is winning the A block. That's my pick. Final guy in the block, Sho, aka Sho Tanaka. I've been a fan of this guy since his Young Lion days, and I think he's been, this third appearance now in the Best of Super Juniors. Obviously, as he's gone on, I think both him and Yo have both gotten better. Always interesting to see these guys in the singles action. I've said before, I think Sho is a future superstar. I'm actually going to say it, that I think Sho is right there with Shingo until the final night. I think Shingo is going to be probably going to be one of the top 3 guys in the block. They could pull something and have Sho win the block. I don't think that happens. I think I'm pretty convinced that Shingo's going to win the A block. But I think that's going to be. I'm looking forward to that match, especially Shingo and Sho. I think are going to just tear it down. So now we're going to move on to the B block. Opening up, we have Rocky Romero. Rocky making a return after a few years. I cannot remember the last time he was in the Best of the Super Junior tournament. Rocky, not a guy I see getting a lot of wins, and I think it could be the Toro Yano of this tournament, where he does a lot of comedy. Not to say that Rocky is not a great wrestler, because Rocky absolutely is a great wrestler. I don't see him getting a lot going here, but I think he definitely is a guy that could have a few good matches. He'll probably eke out a few surprise wins, but I don't see him being there come the final night. Next up, guy, the Sniper of the Skies, member of the Bullet Club, Robbie Eagles, making his Best of the Super Junior tournament debut. A man that made his debut in the Super Junior Tag League last year, has made a few tours since then. I actually think this could be a really big opportunity for Robbie Eagles, because he's got a lot of good matches up and down this block. Obviously, Eagles versus Will Ospreay stands out. Eagles versus El Fantasma. Eagles versus Yo, Bandito. This B block, people have been debating online whether the A block or the B block. I think there's some big names in the A block, but I think overall, I think the B block is going to be where you're going to see some better matches. I think there's maybe only maybe 3 guys that are essentially pin eaters in this block. But Robbie Eagles, definitely not one of those guys. Robbie Eagles is a guy that I think really could be in the mix going into that final night. It's going to be really interesting to see where he ends up, because I think because you've got you have 2 Bullet Club juniors in this block, so you're going to have the Bullet Club versus Bullet Club match. So that'll be interesting. Then you got Flip Gordon, Ring of Honor guy that's bringing over. I'm worried about Flip as we go, because this is going to be a long term. It's the biggest Best of Super Junior ever. Flip's had some knee problems. I'm hoping it doesn't flare up on him. But Flip is a guy I like Flip, obviously. And I think he's good. I just don't, especially being not a full-time New Japan guy, I really don't see them giving him a whole lot. I think he'll have some good matches. His tournament last year was okay. I think he's more used to being in the big spot now as a push guy in Ring of Honor. So maybe this year he comes back a little better, a little bit more prepared, being his second tour. I know he had some issues adjusting to being in Japan for the long tour last year, so hopefully maybe this year he might be a little more prepared. I just don't see him getting a lot Then we have El Desperado. Desperado had one of my favorite matches last year with Hiromu. They absolutely tore it down in a Cork and Hall main event. I actually say that I think Desperado is probably one of the most underrated guys in New Japan. He's the most underrated guy, underappreciated, unsung hero guys in the juniors division. Desperado will have good matches, but you look at this block, and I could be in the mix going into the final day. And I think you're going to see a lot of guys, again, bigger tournament. I think you're going to see a lot of guys maybe with some parity, maybe up to that second to last block night, up to that. But I don't see him being a guy that could have a chance to win it at the end. The next guy, though, Bandito. If I knew he was coming over for more tours in New Japan, I would think this is a guy you could push to the moon. But I think, obviously, you saw at G1 Supercard what he can do with like Taiji Ishimori and Dragon Lee. They're both in the A block, but one of the big ones here is we're going to get the Bandito versus Will Ospreay rematch from the match at the WrestleCon Super Show, which if you haven't seen that match, go out of your way to go to the High Spots Wrestling Network and check that match out. It was one of the best matches of WrestleMania weekend. I'm super excited to see what they're gonna do in a New Japan ring. Bandito, I think, is going to have some great matches. Bandito, Desperado, El Fantasma, Ospreay, Robbie Eagles. I'm super excited to see Bandito finally in New Japan. Then we get El Fantasma. Like I said, a guy who, when they started running vignettes for him, I didn't know a lot about. I don't watch a lot of Rev Pro, but I did go and watch some of his stuff on YouTube, and then obviously saw the Ospreay match. I'm really, really impressed by this guy. I'm really looking forward to see what he does here. Obviously, they've got some pretty high hopes for him. He's in the Bullet Club. They ran those videos. He's already got a T-shirt design that I don't think is on Pro Wrestling Tees yet, but it soon will be. So I think El Fantasma. I think they gave him the win on Ospreay, which means obviously they think highly of him. I think Fantasma is a guy that you could see in the mix going into that last night. Then we have Will Ospreay. So we have William, who was the never openweight champion, and we all thought he was in the New Japan Cup. We all thought he was going to heavyweight, and he's back here in the Best of Super Juniors. I'm going to make a prediction right now. I'll say it. This is my prediction to win the B block. I think Ospreay wins the B block. I think the up and down, does he... I tweeted this out during Dontaku. Does Will even qualify as a junior anymore? Because Will is looking absolutely jacked. I know he's a lankier guy, so it's kind of deceiving. But kind of like Trent Beretta and Taichi a couple years ago when they were juniors. Is he really a junior anymore? He's bigger than Zack Sabre Jr. and Zack Sabre Jr. is in the heavyweight division. So I don't know if Ospreay can be a heavyweight for much longer. Then we have Bushi. Bushi, the essentially number 3 member of Los Ingobernables as a junior, because when Hiromu gets back, Bushi's a pin eater here in singles. I think he's the junior tag guy with whoever's in LIJ, but I think he's pretty much going to eat pins for the majority of this tournament. He'll get a win or two, but not a guy you're going to see in the mix. Then Ryusuke Taguchi, the old vet Taguchi, former New Japan Best of Super Junior Cup winner. Keep him a Best of the Super former, a guy who a couple years ago made it to the finals against Will Ospreay, had that amazing run, but looking at these blocks, I don't think there's any chance that we're gonna get that this year. Again, kind of the Toru Yano of this block. I think you're gonna see some comedy stuff, and Taguchi will work some really good matches, but not a guy that's gonna be there at the end. And then finally we have Yo. Yo's impressed me. I've always said Sho was the breakout of the team, but I really do think feel like people kind of sleep on Yo sometimes because Sho was such a highly touted young lion, and then when they teamed him up as Roppongi 3K and all that. But Yo, I think, has had some really good singles matches last year in the Best of Super Junior, and I think with progression, I think especially with guys in this block, I think he's going to have some really good matches again. But I don't see him on the same level as Sho, where I think Sho is going to be possibly the second number 2 in his block. I don't see that here for Yo. B block, like I said, I have Ospreay winning. I have Ospreay winning with El Phantasma, Robbie Eagles, and Bandito in the mix. A block, I have Shingo winning with Ishimori, Dragon Lee, Gresham, and Sho in the mix. A block, I think you're going to see a lot of guys in the mix on that final night. I don't know if maybe you see as many guys in that B block. But yeah, you look at where that's at, I think it's going to be a pretty interesting tournament. So let's run down the dates. I'm gonna buzz through these real quick. I'm not gonna give you every single match. I'm not gonna give you everything, but I'm gonna tell you the matches every night that I think we should be looking out for. So we are starting out on Monday, May 13th, from Sendai. Interesting to note, the first night, Brody King taking on Yoya Uemura in the opening match. I'm looking forward to seeing Brody King just crush some young lions. I'm not going to give you the non-tournament tag matches, Don't necessarily sleep on all those if you have time, but if you don't have time, which I probably will try to watch some, not all, you can just watch the tournament matches. It takes an hour and a half ish per day, because there's a lot. Like I said, biggest Best of the Super Junior tournament of all time. But A block, opening night, we open up with Tiger Mask versus Taka Michinoku, Teton versus Yoshinobu Kanemaru, Marty Scurll versus Jonathan Gresham, Sho versus Shingo, and Dragon Lee versus Taiji Ishimori. Wow, those top 3 matches are all going to be great. Sho and Shingo actually opened up on night 1, really surprises me. Dragon Lee, Taiji Ishimori, the rematch from Dontaku is the main event on night 1. That should be excellent. So yeah, we're really going to see the A block, some interesting stuff right off the bat. Then we go to night 2 in Sendai as well. We have Rocky Romero versus Robbie Eagles, Flip Gordon versus El Desperado, Bandito versus El Phantasmo, Will Ospreay versus Bushi, and Ryusuke Taguchi versus Yo. Is Sendai Ryusuke Taguchi's hometown or something? Why is he main eventing? Why is the main event of this show not Bandito versus El Phantasmo, the match that everyone should be super excited about? I don't know. Interesting opening night lineup. A lot of guys that I said aren't going to be in the mix versus a lot of guys that are, so maybe we get a surprise pin. Maybe Bushi pulls the upset on Ospreay to put him in a hole. But Bandito versus El Phantasmo is a match that I am looking forward to on Tuesday night. Then we get to Wednesday, May 15th, second night of the A block from Amore. We have got Jonathan Gresham versus Taka Michinoku, Tiger Mask versus Yoshinobu Kanemaru, Teton versus Shingo, Marty Scurll versus Taiji Ishimori, and Dragon Lee versus Sho. Again, really excited for those top 2 matches. Shingo versus Teton should be pretty good too. Again, A block coming out hard. Then we go to Thursday, so we got 4 nights to start out with no break. We go to the B block. Flip Gordon versus Robbie Eagles. Yo versus Bandito. Bushi versus El Phantasmo. Will Ospreay versus Rocky Romero. And Ryusuke Taguchi versus El Desperado. Man, Taguchi getting main events. This is an interesting night because, well, is there a main event match here? Flip versus Robbie Eagles, I think, should be fun. Yo versus Bandito. And then Will versus Rocky in a Chaos versus Chaos guys match. Could be really interesting. Then we go to back-to-back nights in Yamagata at the Big Wing. A block, we have Sho versus Taka Michinoku, Tiger Mask versus Marty Scurll, Teton versus Taiji Ishimori, Dragon Lee versus Jonathan Gresham, and Shingo versus Yoshinobu Kanemaru. That one, Dragon Lee versus Jonathan Gresham, is definitely standing out. That's going to be fantastic. Can't wait for that one. Then the next night, we have Rocky Romero versus Flip Gordon, Bandito versus Desperado, El Phantasmo versus Robbie Eagles, Will Ospreay versus Yo, and Ryusuke Taguchi versus Bushi, El Phantasmo versus Robbie Eagles, and Will Ospreay versus Yo, Bandito versus El Desperado. This might be one of my favorite nights so far. Kudos to New Japan for just loading up this tournament with talent. Those are Saturday and Sunday. Then we get a couple days off. We get Monday, Tuesday off. We go to Wednesday, May 22nd. We start 3 straight nights, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday at Korakuen. With the B block, we have Teton. Do we have A block? Oh, is this an all? Okay, so I did not realize this. Wednesday, May 22nd is a all Best of the Super Junior show. We've got 10 matches, all tournament blocks. This should be fun. We have Taiji Ishimori versus Taka Michinoku. I'll do the A block. I'll have to kind of skim through. A block, we have Ishimori versus Michinoku. Gresham versus Teton. Tiger Mask versus Dragon Lee. Sho versus Yoshinobu Kanemaru. Shingo versus Marty Scurll. Shingo versus Marty should be awesome. Bandito Flip. 2 buddies in Ring of Honor. Then we also have B block, and they're A block, B block the whole night. This is cool. I did not realize this. I hadn't looked at all these yet. Ryusuke Taguchi versus Robbie Eagles. Rocky Romero versus Yo. Bushi versus El Desperado. Bandito versus Flip. And Will Ospreay versus El Phantasma as the main event. That main event's going to be great. I take that back. This is my favorite night of the tournament because it's all new. That's going to be the gotta watch the whole night. That's Wednesday, May 22nd. So Wednesday, May 22nd, make sure you got about 3 hours cleared because we're going to be there for a while. We got Korakuen again? Oh, shoot. This is why you should prep for your podcast, folks, because we've got, again, maybe are all 3 nights at Korakuen like this? We've got all Best of the Super Junior matches. Again, Ryusuke Taguchi versus Rocky Romero. Teton versus Taka, Bushi versus Robbie Eagles, Tiger Mask versus Jonathan Gresham, Yo versus El Desperado, Sho versus Marty Scurll, Flip versus El Phantasmo, Ishimori versus Kanemaru, Will Ospreay versus Bandito, yes, and Dragon Lee versus Shingo. Again, those top 2 matches, dude. I'm stoked about this because now you've got multiple nights where it's tournament, and we get it again on Friday. Man, this is going to be a long tournament. Tiger Mask versus Sho, Robbie Eagles versus El Desperado, Marty Scurll versus Yoshinobu Kanemaru, Taguchi versus Bandito, Shingo versus Taka, Yo versus Bushi, Jonathan Gresham versus Taiji Ishimori as My House is Haunted, Rocky Romero versus El Phantasmo, Dragon Lee versus Teton, and Will Ospreay versus Flip Gordon. Wow, that's this is a lot to get through. Ospreay versus Gordon, that's going to be great. Phantasmo versus Rocky. Gresham versus Ishimori on Friday, May 24th. That's a match that I definitely will have circled. Bandito versus Taguchi. Robbie Eagles versus Desperado. Don't sleep on that one. Man, those Korakuen nights are going to be fun because no multi-man tags on those nights. So then we get a day off. On Saturday, we go to Sunday, May 26th in Chiba. And we go all New Japan best of the Super Junior matches again. Gresham versus Kinemura. Bandito versus Bushi. Teton versus Marty. Yo versus El Phantasmo. An excellent match that's another one I'll be looking forward to. Tiger Mask versus Shingo. Taguchi versus Flip. Dragon Lee Taka. Ospreay and Eagles in a what will be without a doubt a barn burner match, and then Sho versus Ishimori. See, I didn't read these ahead of time, and so I'm reading them as soon on this podcast for the first time. And this is where I wish Gary was here because he could go in. So then we go to Wednesday, May 29th, and we go back to the tag team. We go back to the single block formats. So we have 4 nights where we get both blocks in the middle. But then we go back to the block nights starting on Wednesday, May 29th. We have Marty versus Taka, Sho versus Teton, Tiger Mask versus Taiji Ishimori, Jonathan Gresham versus Shingo, Dragon Lee versus Yoshinobu Kanemura, Jonathan Gresham versus Shingo. That's going to be awesome. Can't wait for that one. Then we go to Thursday. We have Bandito versus Robbie Eagles, Yo versus Flip Gordon, Rocky Romero Bushi, Taguchi Phantasmo, and Will Ospreay versus El Desperado. This night, Robbie Eagles Bandito will be great. Ospreay Desperado should be a really good main event. Don't sleep on Despy, guys. I love that dude. So almost to the end. That's the final night of A Block. So I'm gonna run this one down again. Okay, so final night of A Block. We have Tiger Mask Teton. I'm gonna call it right now. That match is drawing dead. Dragon Lee Marty. I'm going to say Marty pulls an upset there, knocks out Dragon Lee. That's what I'm going to call there. Sho versus Jonathan Gresham. I think Gresham... Sho is going to win that one to put the pressure on Shingo. Shingo will beat Ishimori. Kanemura and Taka is a match that'll draw dead, and it'll be a comedy match because it's two... that'll be a fun match between two members of Suzuki-gun. Then we go to the B block final on Monday. Interesting that the 1 block final is on Friday, and then there's 2 days off before we go to Ukamura. We have final night Ospreay versus Taguchi. That's interesting. Bandito versus Rocky Romero. Yo versus Robbie Eagles. Flip versus Bushi, and Phantasma versus Desperado. This one's a little harder to figure out. This one's a little bit harder for me to figure this puzzle out. Because Phantasmo, I think, will be in the mix. Desperado could be. Robbie Eagles, I think, is going to be in the mix. Bandito, possibly, and then Will. So, and I think Will's winning. That's, as opposed to where I could sit there and honestly, fairly easily come up with an A block scenario. B block, I think, is a lot more of a tough nut, going to be a tough nut to crack at the end. So, like I said, I think Will's winning, but there's a lot of moving. I think there might be more moving parts here. I think Phantasmo beats Despy. Flip and Bushi are probably a drawing dead match. I think Robbie Eagles beats Yo. I think Bandito beats Rocky. I think Bandito, Robbie, and Phantasma are all in different scenarios, but then I think Will pulls off the win against Taguchi to advance. So that's kind of what I'm going to go with. We'll say Will winning on that last night to get it. So then we have the best of the Super Junior final. So far, we know a couple things. We do know that Hiroshi Tanahashi will be making his return match against Jay White. No way is Tanahashi losing that match. We know that the man in the biker jacket will be there to confront Juice Robinson, which is Chris Brooks. And then we have the match, which I predict is going to be Shingo Takagi versus Will Ospreay. And I'm going to say that Shingo Takagi picks up the victory, and then Will Ospreay, in his post-match press conference, will announce that this was his final night in the juniors division. He is moving up to heavyweight full-time. Shingo is going on to Dominion to face Dragon Lee in a match that he will win to win the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title, and then Hiromu Takahashi will make his return and set up probably stuff that will lead into Wrestle Kingdom. Whew. Okay. You know what? I just realized I didn't even talk about Chris Jericho at the end of night 2. Because I was talking about Sonata and Okada so much. Chris Jericho video saying he is going to challenge Okada at Dominion. Some people are complaining online. I don't have a big problem with that because I think that Okada really didn't have a firm challenger for Dominion. And I think that Chris is going to come in, he's going to put Okada over. It's going to be a really good match. I don't see the problem that some people say. Plus, Jericho is a draw, and he's huge, and he moves tickets, and I'm excited to see him. Jericho essentially main eventing within 2 weeks of each other, the Double or Nothing pay-per-view for All Elite Wrestling, and then main eventing at Dominion literally less than a month apart. This guy is having this amazing run at, in the twilight of, in what is we assume is the twilight of his career. Jericho might keep wrestling until he's 60 years old. I don't know. But like I said, best of the Super Junior, I say it, Shingo Takagi over on Will Ospreay in the final. It's going to be an awesome tournament. We've got a lot of dates to get through. Like I said, if you on the nights where we have tag matches, if you want to skip the tags, go ahead. We've got those. We haven't seen that with all tournament matches cards, and that's why I was surprised by them, because I hadn't even read them yet, because I didn't realize it, because we haven't had that in a tournament in quite a while. I think the final night of the World Tag League might have been that way, but I didn't pay a lot of attention to the World Tag League Tour this summer, or this year. Midsummer, it was in December. I think that's going to be really interesting to see, because there's going to be a lot. Obviously, this is a tournament that's going to be just as grueling, I think, for these guys as the G1 is for the heavyweights, with the bigger field. This probably going to be, like I've said, I think it's the best of the best of the Super Junior that at least I've ever seen. So everybody enjoy the best of the Super Juniors. I'm going to try to come back. Hopefully Gary might come on with me. I'm hoping that he will feel better soon and be back on the podcast. I may try to come on with some updates throughout the tournament, maybe weekly, maybe every couple days. Who knows? I might just do some short ones where I just go through every couple shows. Again, It's tough to say. A lot depends on scheduling and how, if I fall behind, which I hope I don't. But we'll see you all. If nothing else, I'm sure we'll be back for a Dominion to recap the tournament as a whole and to give you a Dominion preview. But I'm going to try to give you at least a intermission report, a midpoint report, and just to kind of see where we're at. I know Voices of Wrestling going to be doing the pick'em contest this year. If you're into like doing the picks and trying to figure out the math and trying to figure out how Gato's brain works, I've had a lot of fun with the G1 the last few years. They're going to do the Best of the Super Junior one this year. Check out Voices of Wrestling, their Twitter at Voices of Wrestling for pickup contest. I'm going to be involved. I'll kind of post my predictions as we go through on my Twitter, which is at SCWRegal444. Don't forget to follow the show at PuroRegal Pod. Don't forget to follow Gary Freeland on Twitter at Ringside Chats. I keep trying to get him to post more. It's not quite taken. And if you really, really want to interact with myself, Gary, Alex McCarthy, and a whole host of colorful characters, hit up the Ringside Chat Facebook group, which Gary is a moderator of and Alex is a moderator of, and we have a lot of fun there. We post a lot of goofy memes, a lot of interesting wrestling discussion about all levels of professional wrestling, from the indies to New Japan to WWE. It's a super fun group. If you're on Facebook and you like professional wrestling, come join us, get in on the conversation. Everybody, hit us up on Twitter if you got anything. We'll see you. I'll be updating throughout the Best of the Super Junior. I'm going to try to keep the show Twitter a little more active as we go through this tournament. So hit us up, follow the Twitter if you haven't, and we will see you. Enjoy Best of the Super Junior, everybody.